Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt, and I'm back with Kerbal Space Program Hard Career Mode. Last episode we built our first airplane and accepted a contract to do temperature scans around Kerbin. This episode I want to do the lower altitude temperature scans of that contract, but we found a few little problems with the plane I built. So first thing on the schedule today is change the plane a bit. So we grab the box top again. Okay, I'm not sure why this is here, we don't need that. Okay. And off camera I did play around with planes a bit, but not all that much. But I got a few ideas how to change this plane. First off, we exchange the rudder or vertical stabilizer with the Delta Deluxe winglet. Chunk. And that's also just for yaw. Then invert steering on this wheel. And now for the interesting part. Taking off almost everything. This as well, and we don't need that antenna at all. Okay. No, actually only want this. Then this gets added as again. Angle snap on. Okay. First off, I'm not sure if we can actually get to the point where the temperature scan is to be done, so we increase the amount of fuel we carry, and because that makes the craft a bit heavier, we put in 2 engines. Now we can add everything again. Yeah, this works. Oh, right. Okay, that's better. Of course we need the wheels. Can't go without those. The science things, well... there we go. Science things are good as well. So now we're at 26 parts. I forgot something. Oh, right. We need to do something for aerodynamics. And we're gonna do that by adding 2 more cockpits. The reason for that is I want the science to be done by a scientist, so the plane would have to be flown by him, but there is a little problem with the aerodynamics, or might be a little problem with the aerodynamics, because when I've been playing around off camera, all the planes that I built so far had a tendency to start banking without input. I'm not sure why that is, I'll try to remember uploading the craft file and putting it in the video description. Maybe someone can figure out what I did wrong. I'm thinking it's something with the rocket fuel tanks. There might be something of their aerodynamics. Or maybe it's just because I just put them together without anything in between. Another thing I wanted to add, and we got exactly enough parts for that, is in utility. No, utility. It's a pair of parachutes. Because if you remember last episode, we had a little problem with slowing down enough when landing the craft. Oops. Of course. So I'll add a pair of parachutes, and of course I have to adjust the staging. Nah. Okay. So once we've touched down, we can just open them and everything is fine. Okay, now we got some small problems with the center of lift. Well, not exactly problems, but it shouldn't be that far in the back. Okay, that should do it. Yeah, that should work. So we'll call this the box top 2 for the time being, until I come up with a better name. Right, so our pilot is going to be... yeah, it's going to be Jebediah, because we didn't have him in a while. Who gets to be our scientist? Oh, I think I'll just take the three guys, Bill, Bob and Jebediah. So with Bill as our engineer, I should be able to use the parachutes on any landing and then have him repack them before takeoff, so the next landing can also be assisted by parachutes. And we got exactly 30 parts. Awesome. So, with that all done, it's time to head out to the runway. Now the thing is, I'll just put on the brakes. No, we don't need SAS. But I can, while I'm at it, adjust the no, I keep forgetting it, the trim of the pitching ailerons. So maybe the plane can take up without my input. That would be fun. We can throttle up, but first I want to check the map. So the problem is that we are on this side of Kerbin, right here, and the temperature thing is in the darkness on the other side of Kerbin. However, it's gonna take a while to fly there, so I'm hoping that when I'm there it's light again. Otherwise I might have to land and wait for the sun to rise, although that would also be a fun thing. Thing is, it's going to be a long flight, so I think I will just do the takeoff on camera maybe the start of the flight, and then I'll just cut off and come back in when I'm approaching the target area. But first of all, we switch off the brakes, switch to chase cam, and start our engines. Okay, we're at high enough speed to take off. Yeah, and you can already see I don't do anything, or I don't have any input right now, and the plane is starting to roll to the left, and I have no idea why that happens. Roll to the right, not to the left. Starts banking by itself. Okay, that might be a bit too much trim right now. So I'm thinking I'll just go up to, don't know, 5 kilometers of altitude. Jebediah is the only happy guy in the plane. Yeah, I think I'll go up to around 5 kilometers of altitude. Ooh. Go to 2/3 of throttle, and then just fly to the other side of Kerbin. And I think the circumnavigation of the planet will have to wait until we got actual jet fuel tanks, because they contain a lot more fuel for the same weight of the tank, or for the same mass. And we are flying towards the moon, pretty much, and away from the sun. Okay, I could have waited for quite some time with the launch, because I wanted to launch while the space center is still in the sun, and apparently I did, but I could have done that a bit later, actually. So it would be more likely that the waypoint, the point where I am supposed to do the temperature reading, is in the sun. Oh, and we also got min-mist up here. Cool. But yeah, that happens. Things just happen. What the hell? In the words of the great writer Terry Pratchett. Anyway, yeah, this is about the time where I throttle back. Maybe gonna have to adjust the trim as well. And then, yeah, just coast to the east-southeast, I think. Yeah, maybe I need to just let the... Actually, no. Just let the banking take us on a more southerly course a bit, just a little bit. But I actually want to gain a bit more altitude, because I don't think I will pay attention to the flight the whole time. Gonna mostly put it on autopilot pretty much. I think I'll just activate SAS so it stops that banking. And then just check in occasionally. But yeah, it's gonna be a 1 or 2 hour flight. I think it was 2, or should be 2. So we will see. When and where I come back with the recording. That's about it. A bit more altitude. I was thinking about setting the fuel tanks up as drop tanks, but that's maybe not a very good idea. Because it's just going to increase the part count, but won't do a lot for our mass. As empty fuel tanks don't weigh all that much. Okay, that's enough. Throttle down. Figure out where the plane... yeah, this should be it. Turn on SAS. And then I'll just... yeah. I'll just fly to the place. And yeah, get the video back when I'm there, or when I'm approaching, actually. Not exactly there, but when I'm close enough. Don't think I will record the whole flight, because that would mostly just fill my hard drive with a lot of video files, but I might just end up, or I might end up just using, don't know, 45 minutes of a 2-hour flight, and yeah, that's a bit of an annoying thing. Okay, no SAS. Bit of an annoying thing to edit the video that much. Okay, so away from the sun we go, and the cut comes very soon. Or you'll see me arriving not that soon, but, or actually you'll see it soon, but I won't be there in a hurry. So until then. Alright, and we're back. Mostly. As you see, we made it to at least the pilot's cavern. Unfortunately, we need to get to zone 66-3 for the low temperature measurement, and that's that one. We might have a little problem, however. That is, we are running low on fuel. So I don't know if we can reach zone 66-3. What I did, meanwhile, is do a temperature scan, flying over Kerbin's Highlands, and that gives us some science, and thanks to, I think, I'm not sure which was our scientist, Bill or Bob, thanks to having a scientist who can do a basic analysis, we get some more science, so that's great, we can keep that. Yeah, problem with flying a plane with SAS on is that that it keeps the plane pointed in the same direction no matter what. The horizon is actually falling lower because the planet is curved, and the SAS keeps us pointing this direction, and with the planet curving, if we kept going around the planet pretty much, we would end up pointed straight up. So that's the problem of SAS, and which is why I actually prefer to fly planes without SAS. But yeah, that's the whole rolling to the right problem. That can't be done without getting a bit annoyed. As you can see in the mission elapsed time in the top left, I did fly 2 hours so far. And yeah, sun is high enough, and I didn't cheat. We are at day 54, hour 3, so that hasn't changed. I really did this flight. But as I said, we might end up falling short actually. Actually, I should turn off SAS and see about getting us pointed due east. Need to trim again. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. I think you can. This part of the episode is accompanied by some music. Thing is, I messed up my time planning today a little bit. So I ended up, I'm recording this on a Sunday, and each Sunday I'm listening to a radio show, the Yesterhits, on Antenne Thüringen. And yeah, today I got my time planning messed up a bit, so they started before I was done with the flight, and I thought, I'm doing a lot of for you folks, but I'm not cancelling the Yesterhits. So you get some music. Only thing I'm hoping is that this doesn't result in YouTube blocking my video for me, because I'm in Germany and there's this whole gamer business where YouTube can't get along with gamer, can't figure out a way to split their proceeds pretty much. So if you got a song where they didn't figure out a way to, or didn't yet what's it called, where they still got some legal issues, then it gets blocked for viewers from Germany. So yeah, I hope they don't do that, but with Journey playing right now in the background, it might happen. But yeah, I suppose that's not your problem. I have no idea if I can reach Zone 66-3. Actually, I'm pretty sure we can reach it, but I have no idea if we can save the plane. Because that's... well, we'll see. We will see. Well, if it starts early enough, maybe I can just land in this area. That would be awesome. And this is where having the parachutes would come in pretty handy, actually. Because, yeah, I can do a landing in a somewhat rough area and then see about slowing down with the parachutes. Oh no, that's an orbit. Okay. I'm wondering... actually, I think I'm going to do a temperature log. Yeah, I'm gonna do a temperature log over the mountains. Let's keep that, and if the scan in that area, Zone 66-3 is also mountains, then I can do a temperature scan in the grasslands after I landed. The only thing I forgot again is doing the mystery goo observation on the runway. That's something that annoys me a bit, but yeah, it happens. 17,000 or below 18,000 meters, and we are at 5,000, so that should work. And we learned that this plane has a worse fuel consumption rating than the basic one, because now that we are here, I can admit it, when I played around I used the basic plane to get to this area and I still had some fuel left. Oh well. So I'm wondering if we are already in the area? No, we aren't. Okay. Ha! Now we are in the zone. Zone 66-3, log temperature, flying over Kerbin's Highlands. We keep that. Then I'm turning off SAS, throttling down, and I think I want to land to the right there. Although I have to admit, I'm not sure how high the highlands actually are. Guess we're going to find out just how robust this plane is. With 3 crew, that would be quite the problem for the space program. With our first 3 crew all dying in one accident, that would be... Setback doesn't even begin to cover it. Catastrophe. Actually, we still got some fuel left, so I think I'm just gonna throttle up and see if maybe we can make it to the lighter green area. Yeah, that should do it. And that's a problem with my trim. Still pitching up. Well, we still got some fuel left. Oh, we got that done. Oops, we might not want to crash. Wondering for what kind of impact those wheels are rated, but apparently it was better than that. Okay, brakes on. Choke! And there we are. On the ground. Landed successfully. Shut down engine. Shut down this engine. Observe the goo while we are here. Oh, that's giving us quite some stuff, so we keep that. Now... No, that wasn't what I wanted. EVA. Now... Okay, you can go there. Question is, can you take that data? Yes, you can. Great. Log it. Okay, he's not a scientist. He's our engineer. That means he should be able to repack the chutes, which is pretty pointless right now because we are not... Oh, come on. F, climb. There's just no way we can take back off and get back to the space center, but it's okay. Repack it. Maybe it gives us some more funds. Yeah, that just was a fly or something in front of my face. Come on, climb up. Store all experiments. And you get back into your cockpit, which means Bob should be our scientist. Not our uncle, but our scientist. Take data, log temperature, quite literally nominal, Kerbin silence. That also gives us 2.1 science, would be 1.4 if we didn't have a scientist. Time to collect the data. Yes. Then we restore that. Yay! And we can observe the mystery goo again while we're in the Highlands. Again, 2.3 science. It's not too much, but it's better than nothing. Okay. And actually we'll do that experiment twice, because the second recovery will take care of about this area, so might as well collect it and restore again, but no point in doing it yet again. There's not that much left. What can't be wait. Okay. Ah no, that's why we have that experiment twice. So come on. So we'll just give one of them we'll give one of them to Jeb, and we give the last one to Bill. Okay, time to board the plane. Okay, time to recover it. I think we're not getting a lot of... Okay, what I wanted to say is we're not getting a lot of funds back. So we earned 10 science. Okay, that's recovering a vessel that survived the flight, isn't giving us much. Mystery goo observation from Kerbin's Highlands. Did I do that 3 times? Whoops. Yeah, I did. Oh, whatever. 1.8. Oh yeah, I thought he did a basic analysis. Weird. Well, we got 52 science now, so that's something. 7,000 funds. Okay, it's still about half of what we paid for the plane. So that's not too bad, considering we were pretty much out of fuel. 15 fuel was left. Nice. Okay, everybody's back. Nobody got injured. Hooray! Right, it's dark again. Oh, 3 tourists fly by the moon. Yeah, no, suborbital on the moon. Okay, that's crazy. I'm thinking that maybe I'll do this contract off camera. Crew EVA reports on the surface. Crew report in flight below 18,000 meters near zone 8 XP. Okay, the crew report in flight above the minimum altitude will be done in the next episode. Same for this one. The temperature measurements. Because the plane can't go high enough, and as you noticed, it has a hard time going far enough. We will end up doing that with a spacecraft. And here we are. The other contract is doing the measurements, or the EVA reports actually, at the North Pole. So I think I'll just replace one of the thermometers with another fuel tank for that one, and then fly up there, do the EVA report, the EVA reports and the crew report, and I think it was in this zone. That should be enough. And next episode we're going to get a capsule with a temperature measurement into a polar orbit for doing those measurements. At least we're getting it into that orbit. We are probably not going to do all the measurements, because for that we just have to pass over those areas, and I don't think we can get that on the first orbit. Or even the second. But we'll see. Oops. But as I said, I think I'll do the other parts, the EVA reports and the crew report, off camera, unless of course you absolutely want to see that. But it's probably going to be the same as last episode, which is flying there, landing, taxiing a lot. Whatever. Ah, aber. Right. So, yeah, where we were in the tracking station. We're checking one more thing, and that is Janvi's capsule. And she's still 2 days out. So 2 days and 4 hours, and a Kerbin day is 6 hours, so just under 3 days. And this episode's flight was 2 hours, so I think the polar flight is going to be 2.5 maybe 3, 4 if it's long, so Janvi's still gonna spend some time up there. But I might, when those plane contracts run out, I think I'll fast forward, do a time warp to just speed up the recovery of this one. The science data from space around Kerbin, I think we're going to get that with the, or we might be able to get that with the temperature scans or the crew report, because that's pretty much it. I mean, temperature measurement in space and crew report in space, so that might already do that once we recover the craft. So it might happen that we do that with a different mission as well. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do after next episode. But I guess we'll see what happens with the contracts. Alright, I wanted to check the next research projects. Yeah, I thought so. The next one I would like to do is either this aerodynamics, because then we get the bigger liquid fuel fuselage, and I have an idea that maybe we can do a circumnavigation in one of those episodes, maybe as a bonus episode. But that would be a very long episode, because I would actually do the whole circumnavigation on camera. I don't know if I'll do a time lapse. But another thing I would like to do is the fuel systems, because that gives us a bigger fuel tank, which would make the parts limit in the VAB less of a problem, which would give us the possibility to maybe rescue Kerbals from moon orbit, maybe do tourism contracts around the moon and Minmus. And of course we got general construction, which would give us the structural fuselage, which is not doing a lot for us, but a strut connector would be nice. And the launch stability enhancer that I've been complaining about some episodes ago. But a strut connector is actually more interesting when we do the advanced construction, which needs general construction and then 90 more science for advanced, because that would give us the stacked tricoupler, which might make rockets a bit more stable, less problematic with drag. But we'll see what the next missions give us. As I said, next episode we'll get a polar orbit and then we'll see where we go from there. So until then, thank you and good night.